right now, Green Black Dragons playing against Esper Dragons. Now, one of the things that's actually nice about Kent's deck, and we saw this at the Season 2 Invitational, is he can actually go long with a deck like this.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Den Protector plus Death Disruptor is already a pretty good base for going long, and then you have your high-impact cards backed up by Haven the Spirit Dragon. I think that the problem in the matchup on Kent's side is that his dragons aren't necessarily good. There's a lot of matchups where he plays where they're game over. Here, a lot of them can be answered fairly easily with removal spells. Michael's got solid basic counter spells as well, but the green cards are influential for Kent in this matchup.
Well, here's a Dragonlord Ojutai from Hamilton. He'll also play a Temple, scry the top card to the bottom. See us joining this one in progress. Both these players 7-0. Hamilton, one of many who is playing Esper Dragons this weekend. It's a very popular deck here in Indianapolis among our 454 competitors. Ketter going to play a copy of Foul Tongue Invocation. You see Hamilton's hand. It looks like he's got multiple copies of Slimgar Scorn in hand. So this could be a very tough game here for Kent. Kent at 22, Hamilton down to 3. So it looks like Hamilton is just now seizing control of the game.
Dissolve left over 2.
Ketter does have a copy of Ugin in hand. Looks like he might consider casting it and trying to go for the W.
I don't know. It's not getting any better.
Yeah? Does this resolve? Nope. Disdainful Stroke says, I don't think so. Ketter going to play a copy of Windswept Teeth before passing turn back over to Hamilton. Hamilton will untap all those lands, take a draw, attack with his Dragonlord Ojutai.
And now even at 22-3, I think Kent's goose is probably cooked here.
Well, this gets real hard now. That's for sure.
Dissolve still left over in Michael's hand.
Here's a Dismal Backwater. Hamilton going to go up to 4. Ketter untapping, preparing to draw. He's got a Dragonlord Atarka in hand. It's unclear what Kent has in the graveyard, so, you know, if he draws a Morph, for example, it might be bringing back a bunch of Deathmiss Raptors.
Yeah.
That we don't know. Here's a Satyr Wayfinder. Couple of cards here for Ketter. That's 3 lands. Let's make it 4. If you're looking for positives, all those are in the graveyard now, and not in his deck.
Not dead draws.
Yep. There's a Dragonlord Atarka. There's an Orberg on the battlefield. That's why Kent is able to tap his Windswept Teeth for mana. Black mana, to be exact. He's trying to resolve this Atarka so he can shoot down Dragonlord Ojutai, but Dissolve will stop that from happening. This is all Hamilton to scry. He'll scry the top card to the bottom. Now we'll head back Hamilton's way. He'll untap his Dragonlord Ojutai and all those lands. The draw step was a Temple of Enlightenment. Here's an attack. One of these cards is going to have to be good. Didn't get a great look at that one.
Was blue. It's a good starting point.
And dig through time. He's going to cast that right now. Going to delve away some cards here. Well, there we go. Take a look at the top 7, of course. Ugin among those cards. He'll get to select 2 of them.
And all Michael is in the market for right now is counter spells.
Yep. Just something to hold this game down. Just keep letting Ojutai go to work.
Yeah. Ugin is not a bad consolation prize.
Rarely is. That and Hero's Downfall. Here is Ugin. I've got a boatload of lands out there. Let's make sure he taps his mana right. Ugin going to take up and take care of that Satyr Wayfinder. Pass the turn back over to Ketter. Ketter will take a draw. He's empty-handed. Doesn't appear his draw step was very good. And you can see the clock here. This game feels like it might be Hamilton's.
Well, Kent still has Haven in play.
Yep.
He can Haven back Dragonlord Atarka and kill Dragonlord Ojutai. So that's at least enough gas, I think, to play on for a little bit longer.
Could also get back Ugin if you'd like. Not sure how much that weighs itself in. It looks like he's going to go that route. That's land for Ugin. Kent curious if this will resolve or not. And Hamilton's hand is purely reactive at this point. He's got a Hero's Downfall, Silence the Believers, and it looks like a land in hand.
There's not a lot of good work to be done with Ugin here. If you minus, then Ugin finishes off Ugin next turn. If you plus, well, Michael does fall to 1, and that gives Ken some hope of just being able to damage race out.
Yeah, but 1 is not none.
Yep.
And I got a feeling if Michael goes to 1, he'll probably win the game.
Yep.
At 1. I think that's the issue. So here's an attack with Ojutai. Bile Blight among the options here.
That's still no counter spells.
Yeah.
You know, there's still some hope here.
I'm looking through Kent's deck list. I'm curious if there's another Ugin floating around.
Well, even if there's no Ugin, there's still some temples.
Okay.
He's got to draw.
There's Tasigur. Yeah, I suppose if he peels Haven of the Spirit Dragon, he can get back Ugin, plus it, and kill him. That's the out.
He's got a shot.
Because he's got to do it this turn, obviously. Yep. He's at 4 now. Well, it's good to have outs. Take a draw. That's a Dragonlord Ojutai.
That ain't it.
Nope, that's not it. He knows it. He's going to concede this game. Michael Hamilton's going to win game number 2 here over Kent Ketter. As for Dragons, Green-Black Dragons preparing for a 3rd game.
Time is going to be an issue now.
Yeah, these players go to their sideboard real quick. You see the clock ticking down. We got about 8 minutes to go here. So this will be interesting to see exactly how fast these players are going to, because it doesn't seem like there's anything quick about this matchup.
No, but 8 minutes is enough time. I mean, both of these players can get draws of just removal into a dragon. Dragon goes uncontested, you got to win. Going to be challenging, but both these players have already locked up a spot in day 2, so they don't have to worry about the implications of a draw in terms of making the second day of competition. So they've at least passed the point where a draw is really net negative for their chances in the tournament.
The sideboard for Hamilton's side is he's shuffling up pretty quickly. He's got an Ashiok, a Tasigur, a Silence the Believers. We saw that in his hand that game. 2 Disdainful Strokes, 2 Foul Tongue Invocations, 2 Dragonlord's Prerogative, 3 Ultimate Price, 2 Drowning Sorrows, and a Thoughtseize. So actually a lot of good options here from Michael with these Disdainful Strokes, these Foul Tongue Invocations to take care of Dragons. Though there are some stray cards like Sylvan Caryatid and Satyr Wayfinder that make those a little bit worse. Dragonlord's Prerogative is great as well in this matchup.
Yeah, just even though Ken's deck is not playing with counter spells, it's a lot of the same stuff that you would want for a counterspell matchup. More power, more card drawing.
On the other side there for Ketter, he's got 3 Ultimate Price, a Dragonlord Tremoka, a Dragonlord Slumgar, Ugin, as we saw last game, 3 Foul Tongue Invocations in his sideboard, 2 Duress, 2 Drowning Sorrow, 2 Tasigur the Golden Fang, not bringing as great of options to the table.
Yeah, I like the Duresses, I like the Tasigur, and I like the Ugin, but there's nothing awesome here. It's all small upgrades.
These players are going to be rocking and rolling here because they know time is of the essence. There is a Satyr Wayfinder. Ketter going to turn over a couple of cards, Opulent Palace among them. There's also a Temple of Malady and Llanowar Waste, so we'll see what Landy wants to go with. Looks like he's going to take the Llanowar Waste, put the rest in the graveyard, pass the turn back over to Hamilton, who's just got a Temple of Deceit. There's a Polluted Delta. He'll pass the turn back. Ketter will take a draw. Here's an attack for 1. Hamilton down to 19. Ketter going to play another Satyr Wayfinder, a Thoughtseize, a Deathmiss Raptor. This is awkward. Okay, I was hoping that Michael wasn't going to Slumgar scorn this because this gets bad as that thing is already resolved, but it looks like he's just sacrificing that to get a land.
Yep.
Kent accidentally put those cards in the bottom of his deck instead of in the graveyard. This is something that can be fixed, we hope. And Kent can actually show those cards to the table spotter, as those were the cards. One of them is Deathmiss Raptor. Much better in the graveyard than the bottom of the deck.
Right. Curious mistake to make, since that's where you want that stuff to go.
Yes, that is correct. When you're playing a little bit of speed magic, these things do happen. Now here's a Tasigur. Even better that they're in the graveyard now.
Yep. Look at all that.
This also puts Hamilton in the test of having a Slumgar Scorner or a counterspell. He has Disdainful Stroke here to take care of this. Pass the turn back to Hamilton. It's turn number 3 for Michael. He'll play a Temple of Deceit. Take a look at that top card. It's going to stay on top as we head back Ketter's way. Some chip shots. They do add up after all.
Yep. This is kind of a nice draw for Kent to have with 5 minutes now on the clock. This is one of his more aggressive starts here.
Of course, our crew fix is on the stack. Here's the Slumgar score, no reveal necessary. Does Kent have a land to play? He does in Haven of the Spirit Dragon. Curious if that's a misstep or not, because he could have played land first.
Well, he wants to give himself the opportunity to hit off of Courser.
Absolutely.
I understand it is a little awkward, but you basically have to think your opponent has Slumgar Scorn and no dragon for that to enter your calculation. I think you're better served just trying to get the land.
Bioblade will take care of the Wayfinders. And with how Kent's deck works, too, because it's a big mana deck, makes a little bit more sense there. Maybe he knows it's not realistic for me to just chip shot away to win the game. Let's see what this is going to be. That's going to be a Den Protector. That's timely, because there is a Death Mist Raptor in the graveyard.
And time is of the essence. That puts 6 power in play.
There's a Case of Koilos, and there's a Dragon Lord Ochitai. Kent going to quickly unmorph.
Kent couldn't be more thrilled about this because he's got Foul Tongue Invocation in hand, too.
Yep.
Got an answer already ready to go.
Death Mist Raptor is going to come back from the graveyard. Tasker is going to go to the hand. Ketter will draw a card.
I mean, this turn gets to be Tassiger plus Foul Tongue Invocation plus hit you for 6. I mean,
I've seen worse turns.
Can't argue with that.
Does he have a Dragon to reveal, too?
The question is even if he cares to.
Yeah, he actually has Dragon Lord Ochitai in hand. I don't think he's going to reveal it. Here's an attack for 6. There are 4 cards in the graveyard. I play one way. I like to play Tassiger here.
Yep, me too.
I mean, Crux of Fate is pretty annoying.
Well, then, you have Dragon Lord Ochitai next turn.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, I like getting this out here. Only Foul Tongue Invocation in the graveyard, pass the turn back. Kent's deck can certainly shift into an aggressive game. You're seeing it happen right now.
3 minutes on the clock against a deck that kind of fumbles around. I'm looking to close this thing out.
Absolutely. Here's Dig Through Time from Hamilton. He's looking to work his way back into it. But this is not a great time to cast Dig Through Time. When you're behind on the board like this, you don't have a lot of mana to operate with.
Yep. Like I said when we hopped in the match, I don't think the dragon element is very good in Kent's deck in the matchup. I think Michael plays that game a lot better than Kent does, but these green cards are very challenging.
A Den Protector plus Death Mist Raptor is something that people went to beat as for Dragons. That was the winning combination. You see Hero's Downfall take care of Tassiger. So it's no surprise to see it be pretty good here. And now Ketter actually gets to put Hamilton in the rock and a hard play situation because he can play Dragon Lord Ochitai and say the Crux is no good.
Yep. And if I'm Kent, I'm definitely casting Dragon Lord Ochitai.
Me too. Michael's one out in this situation is Crux. I don't think there's another card that gets him out of this because typically Esper Dragons doesn't play End Hostilities because they can use Crux in their favor.
And on top of that, there's just only so much white mana in the deck too, and Hostilities is pretty hard for them to cast.
That's going to get the job done. Kent Ketter is going to win this match here over Michael Hamilton 2-1. Green-Black Dragons will take care of Esper Dragons. For Ketter, if you haven't seen the deck yet, I'll definitely advise that you do. He's 8-0 with this brew.
Den Protector plus Death Mist Raptor is still really hard in Esper Dragons, and that's all that game was. I think if Kent's plan is to try to get to Dragon Lord Ochitai and start bringing it back with Haven, that's a game Michael's well equipped to play. But it's hard for Michael to beat that game plan and being under pressure from Death Mist Raptor and Den Protector.
It's interesting because it feels like Kent has taken 2 decks in the 5-color blue dragon deck that Flores